Hello, this is 15 Minutes or Less, and I'm Mabs, and with me, as always, is Amy.
Hi.
Other Amy. But spelled different. And Paris Stu, give me a yo.
Yo.
Yo, that was so gangster. That was amazing. That was actually amazing.
I love it.
That was really
That's,
cool.
that's the most gangster I've ever seen you.
#gangster.
Ever. Thank you very much for listening, watching, wherever you're picking us up. Today we're on to the letter J, and we're talking about jobs. We all have jobs, but we're no experts. So I'm going to start the clock, and we're going to start talking about jobs for 15 minutes. Starting now. There we go. So we all have jobs, you and I. So I thought a nice way to start the podcast might be to talk a little bit about what's your job? Or jobby, as Amy White was like wanted to point out.
We're all dying to say jobby.
Jobby.
You can say jobby as much as you want, but
I was wondering how long it would take.
You've got it written here. Jobby.
She has actually got it written down there.
it took me
Jobbies.
literally 17 seconds, I think, to bring up the word jobbies instead of jobs. Blakes, what do you do?
Good question. What do I do? I manage the social media and everything here. So
Yeah.
that is working across a range of different things at the moment, from campaigns to events and all sorts of
Because we do actually all work in a company together. We're not just randoms. So there you go. That makes sense.
Who's he again? I don't know.
Well, that's fine. I'm not embarrassed.
What are you doing here?
I'm the office safety manager, so I just make sure nothing blows up, catches fire. Yeah?
Oh, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then Jeff is the HR manager. He's a plant.
Jeff's the nicest one here.
Yeah. Paris, what do you do?
I'm a motion graphic designer. I animate stuff. You could say that's what God do. So I'm basically God.
Very good. Paris there, queen of modesty. And Amy White.
I am a graphic designer, but at the moment my current role is graphic design manager. So it's kind of the same thing, but I also manage as well.
You get to be bossy.
Get to be bossy and create beautiful work.
That's very, very good. Now, what I wanted to ask all of you was, what jobs did you think you might have at this stage of your life? If you think back to maybe when you were younger, not necessarily a child, but, you know, there might have been some kind of thought of what you might be doing, or some hope of what you might be doing, like, you know, astronaut or something. I was just wondering, did anyone have any ideas about what they wanted to do jobs-wise when they grew up?
I guess when I was in 12, 13, I wanted to become a director, movie director. But before that, I wanted to become a prophet. I thought, that was my thought process when I was very young. If you be a nice person, you just get to become prophet and work for universe, and your job is to do miracles.
Wow,
But
that's...
You can
I
still be a
mean-
prophet.
I am a prophet. Humble brag.
You've compared yourself to God today. I don't think you can get much higher than that.
I guess you could say, I mean, it's not entirely the
be
same.
a prophet when you can be a god?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you've literally gone a level above that. So you've beaten your own aspiration, which is quite good. I was going to say,
I never thought about it this way.
at the very least, Paris, your work helps people make profit. It's not the
That's
same.
true. Yeah.
That's true.
If you
Yeah,
want to throw the
thank you
word
very
in.
much. Yes, thank you. Blakes, what did you want to be? Or did you have any idea what you wanted to do?
Not really. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I did think, I'm 25 now, that by 25 I would be a millionaire, probably married, and maybe had kids by now.
Wow.
Now I'm 25, I'm like, no. But that was probably like, when I was 15 or maybe younger. That's what I thought.
But 25 feels like a really long time away when you're like 15. It's like, that's old. Like, actually, you think people that are like 18 are massively ancient compared to you when you're 15. There's a massive jump.
Yeah.
So, like, to think, I might be a millionaire, I might have a house, might have done life goals, ticked all these boxes. But no.
Do most kids think they're going to be a millionaire?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no. Apparently not.
This is just you, Amy, I think.
Just me.
Yeah, but
Slightly disappointed that I'm not there yet, but...
Yeah, I mean, maybe at 15, I would hope you'd have a better grasp of what it means to be a millionaire. But I know certainly, like, when kids talk about it, sometimes they're like, yeah, you know, I'm going to be really rich, because you don't really have a concept of what that entails.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, that would be good.
I always knew I wanted to do something creative, though. I just didn't know. And even when I left uni, I didn't know that there was opportunities like creative agencies and things like that. I thought everyone just kind of worked in an office. And we do work in an office, but it's completely different to...
It's not your regular office.
No, not at all.
How about you, Whitey?
Well, I stumbled across my diary the other day from when I was a small child, and
Any gossip in there?
Said, apart from kids calling me, do you remember boglings when you were a kid?
No, go on.
They look like little boogers with eyes that you put on your fingers, finger boglins. If anyone was from the 80s, you might remember boglins. They were these hideous, like, bogey monster things.
So you thought you were going to be a...
No.
Okay,
Kids
right.
used to call me that. You just said, is there any news? That's the news that I remember kids used to call me, those finger boglins, when I was a kid.
Okay.
Which is nice. But it said in there that I wanted to be a cat when I was older.
I mean,
we are talking about an innocent age when I was really young.
But that's a solid choice. That's a solid choice.
However, upon growing, my mind, grew as well, and I knew that wasn't a,
So you upgraded it to tiger, lion. I mean, you've got like a cat print. Oh no, it's leopard print, isn't it? Yeah. So
living it, kind of.
Yeah, spirit animal.
Spirit animal, yeah. No, I think like Amy, I knew I was always going to be something creative. In my mind, I didn't know being an artist could be something that was obtainable in an adult life, because I thought only, crazy people with crazy ideas could be artists. But obviously being a graphic designer is a version of an artist, I guess, says that. And then in the realistic mind, I was thinking maybe a hairdresser. So that's where my thought was, depending on how my career got me there. I don't know.
So you even had a realism role.
Yeah, realism role and the dream role.
Wow.
I thought about doing hairdressing. I looked into it when I left. I had a whole year where I didn't know what I was going to do. So I worked at Argos for a year until I figured out my creative direction and went back to uni.
I mean, that leads me on to my next question, which is, and this may not be true, of your experience at Argos, but what's the worst job anyone's ever had?
Oh God.
Has anyone had a particularly bad one?
Yeah, I when I was 15, I wasn't even legally at the right age to get a job. 'Cause you have to be
Very
16,
careful.
don't you?
Very careful.
I wasn't. I don't think it's even the legal age. Is it? They offered me a job at Zenith Windows, and it was selling.
Very bad. You were very bad, Zenith Windows.
I don't even think it exists anymore, but selling.
No, I think it does.
Double glazing. It used to be at the bottom of Sutton High Street.
You have been named and shamed.
But the thing is, I applied because my friend was like, yeah, he gets me on the phones, you don't really do anything. They went, no, it's not for the phones, it's to go out door to door and selling double glazing.
Do they sell doors as well?
Yeah, who in the right mind is going to buy double glazing from a 15-year-old knocking on your door?
And firstly, if you're selling doors, there's no door to knock if someone hasn't got a door on their house.
No.
So
how'd you get in?
you just walk in, don't you?
Oh, right.
I'm pretty sure that's a company that's still going and still scamming away,
Oh, and I think their little selling point was that the inner part of the window wasn't a black seal, it was a white seal, which is what their selling point was.
What a USP.
Anyway, it lasted for a day and I left the next day.
Short-lived career.
It was awful. It was the worst thing
I
ever.
feel like you made a good choice leaving.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Anyone else? Any bad jobs or weird jobs?
Trying to think. I think Argos was probably...
You didn't answer the first question, James.
Which one?
When you were young.
Oh, yeah, when I was young. Well, I think because mine was kind of quite boring, because I think I was a very stereotypical young English boy, which was when I was a kid, I thought I really liked football, so I wanted to be a football player, but I was terrible. I was literally terrible, but I enjoyed it a lot. And then I got a bit older, and then I was like, not really good at anything else, but then I got into theatre and stuff, and I was like, oh, I want to be an actor. So then I started doing that for a while, and then I don't know, I just kind of floated between. Then I was like, I got really into making videos, and I was like, oh yeah, I think I want to be a director or something. And I started doing that, and then I got to university, and then I got into podcasting and radio presenting things. I was like, oh yeah, I think maybe I want to be a presenter, but also make videos and also do this. But then that's also really difficult. I don't know. And then I just ended up falling into this role, really, but I get to do lots of stuff, not very well. So it's fine.
Did you have a very bad job?
A very bad job. I don't know. I've been quite lucky. I haven't had any particularly terrible jobs. I did a lot of weird jobs, especially when I first moved to London to kind of pay my rent. You know, like temping jobs. So there'd just be things like I had to work in a bank for a while, or I had to like promote some product. The weirdest job, which everyone around this table knows, is I was the official mascot for Subway UK for a time. So I managed their social media and was this character called Subman James. And yeah, so I had to go around once a month dressed as a giant sandwich. And I mean, it was literally giant. And I had to run a mascot Grand National. I had to abseil off a hotel. I had to run a 10K race, which was horrible. That was horrible. Sandwiches that big aren't meant to run a 10K race in the middle of summer. And they were like, oh, it's fine. There's a little fan, like a fan system inside the suit to keep you cool. And I was like, that's great. Didn't work.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
got very hot. And I remember I did all this training for it for like a month. And I came...
You were practicing acting.
So acting is the sandwich?
Were you in character the whole time?
No, I was just practicing running. I was like, I need to get fit. And then I had to practice running in the suit. And then I went, and it came to the day. It was very difficult running as a giant sandwich. A lot of wind resistance. And I remember I got to a point in this race and I kind of was like desperately out of breath and went up to one of the marshals and I was like, how am I doing? And they were like, you're doing really well. You're just over halfway. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh, no.
But I lived it, so that was fun. That was a weird job.
Can we get a photo up of that, Tammy?
I'm sure there's plenty up online, and it's weird. I think I was in Pisa in Italy recently, and there was a bootleg Subman out there handing out flyers for Subway, and my friend was there like, get a picture with him. I was like, no, I've moved on. Okay, so we've only actually got about 3-4 minutes left.
Oh.
So I wanted to talk to you about the 3 worst jobs in the world. So these are apparently considered worldwide the 3 worst jobs. I don't know if anyone wants to take a wild guess at what any of those could be.
Probably working in an abattoir.
Interesting. Working in an abattoir, yeah.
That's got to be horrendous, isn't
yeah,
it?
well, yeah, I wouldn't imagine it's particularly nice.
No.
Slaughtering and killing animals and cutting them up and stuff.
I don't know what's the name for it, but those people who are in charge of torture in special prisons.
Okay, I mean, is
I
that
don't know.
legally listed as a job? Well, not. Well, I mean, that'd be a big
Politician is a bad job.
That's a very bad job. Blake's, any thoughts?
No, I guess the initial thought is something that involves like cleaning toilets.
Yeah, sewage. I was about to say something in sewage.
Anything to do with sewage or whatever.
Okay.
People that have to work in like the sewage factory. Is it a sewage factory?
Well, you're absolutely right, actually. So the number 1 worst rated job in the world is a sewer swimmer in Mexico City.
A sewer swimmer?
Yes.
What on earth does that entail?
Yeah, so I guess it's to do with the nature of the sewage system in
God.
Mexico City. I mean, people that work in sewers generally hate the job, like to a degree, because it actually does shorten your life expectancy because of the toxins down there. Even if you're in protective gear like clothing, masks, etc. But in Mexico City, you don't even get that level of health and safety. So that is
Do they
regarded.
get paid a lot?
I don't know, but I wouldn't expect so. I wouldn't expect so.
Why would you do that?
The second worst rated job in the world is a street side ear cleaner in India. So there's a job where you, like in the same way as if you go down to some of the posh streets of London, you'd be like, oh, shoe shine, yeah?
Oh,
go sit down at the
Ear
chair.
cleaner.
You sit down on the street and someone will clean out your ears.
How do they do it?
I don't know. I've not had it done, but I mean,
Sounds
if
very
you're interested,
sanitary.
just Google it.
I don't.
No,
I know
don't
that
do
is
that.
voted, but I mean, in comparison to some of the things we've said,
Mm.
that doesn't seem like that. That seems a bit ridiculous.
No, it's kind of grim though.
You know, because like people like shave people's feet as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's just
Some
as grim.
people are into that. If you look at
Yeah, people are into
Are
like
they?
popping spots,
But
so
do you
they
think-
probably love it.
Yeah, there might be a level of. What are you looking at me for?
No, I'm not. I'm just moving.
It's like
No, I'm moving around.
somebody
so-
loves it.
You cleaning people's ears? Your
Some
spare
people
time.
do. They love gross things, don't they? They like get satisfaction out of getting rid of
Do you love
scabs
it?
and stuff.
Oh,
No, but
Okay, next job.
No, we've only got 30 seconds left. So
Okay.
the third one was a head lice assassin. So you go around to people's houses and pick off head lice off
Sounds-
their scalp.
head lice assassin.
Sounds very official.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that the actual title?
That's the actual title of the
Head
job.
lice assassin.
Yeah. At least it's got a cool job title, right?
Yeah.
Assassin.
Yeah, you could big that up.
There we go.
I'm an assassin.
So I'd like to think at least our jobs are better than that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Podcast assassins.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Nailed
No?
it.
Maybe. That's it. Time's up.
Hey.
So there we go.
Bye then.
That was 15 minutes talking about jobs. Tell us what you think of the episode. Leave a comment below. Send us your messages. JOBBIES. We got into that 17 seconds in and then didn't mention it again till the end. Right, so that's it. That's been 15 minutes or less. Thank you very much for watching, listening, and we'll be back next week with a new letter and a new subject. Thank you very much, and we'll speak to you later. Bye.
Bye.